Welcome to U.S. History and Alt U.S. History B, Unit 1. Okay, I'm going to go through the units in U.S. History. Those of you in Alt U.S. History, you just need to follow along with me. Some of the units are not in your class, but it's just good to get a general overview, okay? Make sure that you have printed out your focus notes. And so make sure that you have those, or at least that you've downloaded them and you have them somewhere else that you can look at them, because you can use these notes on the quiz, okay? So first of all, we have reform in the Gilded Age, and you'll learn about the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire. And this was such a tragic accident that really could have been avoided. And the problems that it had were that there wasn't, good exit strategies in case of fire, and things weren't taken care of. So that to prevent a fire, all the girls were up on a really high level of the building, and the fire started and there was no way for them to get down, and a lot of them were killed. It was very, very sad, and it led to a lot of reform happening there. Okay, the next unit is the US in the Age of New Imperialism, and at this time we gained control of Samoa, Guam, and Puerto Rico, and that's kind of a big deal. And so that really pushed us and made it so that we suddenly were kind of on the world stage as an imperial power, as a power of, people who had colonies and stuff like that. And it also, because of where these islands are, it also helped us to establish a very strong military presence, and to use that to have our ships, sail off from and stuff like that. Okay. So, um, President President Theodore Roosevelt, he's one of my favorite people, I think, and just because he's such a character in U.S. history. And there were a lot of things that he did, and a lot of things that he pushed for, and he kind of had like small man syndrome, even though he wasn't a small man at all. He sort of has the same characteristics, though, because he liked everything to be big, and he wanted the Panama Canal to be huge, and um, he wanted national parks, and he loved hunting and fishing and all of that. And anyway, he's such an interesting character. I really love learning more about Teddy Roosevelt. Um, so his plan was to help Panama to become an independent country. So, and he placed warships around Panama to block the sea lanes so that it could be an independent country, and so that eventually the Panama Canal could be made there. So that was kind of interesting. Okay, now we have the progressive era, and here are the questions from your focus notes. Okay, the muckrakers, and they're kind of a fun bunch. They're sort of the newspaper writers who saw that there was reform that was needed in lots of different situations, in the food industry and in the workplace and stuff like that. And so they would expose the corrupt businesses and the social ills of life to make everything better, kind of. And The Jungle was written by Upton Sinclair, and it started the Food and Drug Administration, first of all, because The Jungle went through, and it was a book that went through and told of how corrupt all of the stores and all of the groceries, just everything was in that department, which was really disgusting, and how meat was hung and how it wasn't very well cared for and how they really didn't believe in, you know, using refrigeration and stuff like that. It was pretty cruel. Okay. World War I. I really have not had that much of a desire to learn a lot about World War I. It always was just kind of what happened before World War II, sort of in my mind, until I went to see this movie, which was called "They Shall Not Grow Old," and I actually have it in my collection of movies. If any of you are interested, you're welcome to ask me, and I'll give you a link to watch it. And it really talks about, it shows the war and it shows pictures from the war, but they're digitized. And so it's kind of fun to see them really come to life. And there's a lot that I learned about the war when I watched this movie. And it was really, really cool. And anyway, so these are the things that you need to know about World War I, and that there will be questions on in the test. If you have any questions about Unit 1, please let me know, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much.